What's going on, everybody? It's my Paul, but thank you all so much for checking out another video. I've got that new weapon out of the DMZ. I want to talk about it. It's not very good. I'll let the gameplay speak for me, shall I? So this is the M13b review, and if you enjoy videos like this, likes help me out massively. You can drop me one of them. I would really appreciate it. If there's any of the blueprints that you are looking at me to review, I don't usually review like a base weapon, but because this one is quite hard to unlock, then I kind of made an exception for this. So I'm rocking Farm 18. I went into it naked, and oh yeah. And oh my god, right. If you haven't got this yet, if you weren't able to defeat the big bad boss, I wasn't either! I tell you what, I wish I was recording at the time. Saturday night, I was having a few rounds of DMZ with the boys, banging, and we just happened to get into a gunfight with some people, and one of them had it, and I picked up like, I've got it! I've got it! I've got it! We've got to extract! We've got to extract! We've got to extract! And I'm like, just fucking giving it legs to the exit, just so I can extract it. So, yeah, I've got to drop it for him and give it him back in return. So, yeah, I got it. But if you haven't, don't worry. It's not very good. It's not. Remember in Black Ops 2, where you had the Peacekeeper and it was like a SMG AR hybrid? Or remember in Call of Duty Ghosts when you had the Ripper, which was also an SMG AR hybrid? This also wants to be an SMG AR hybrid, but instead of having the bonuses of a AR SMG hybrid, i.e. being able to drop people at range while still having the rate of fire to kill people up close, yes, it's got all of the negatives, none of the positives. When it's naked, oh my goodness, this is truly is awful. I sure as hell wish that I went to DMZ to rank this thing up instead of doing it in multiplayer, because I'll tell you what, I had a rough time of it. And also, before I carry on with this, anyone says that I'm full of nonsense, and other words, about the skill-based matchmaking algorithm, watch this. It's like, this is what it wants. This is what the algorithm feeds off, I can assure you. It's like it really wants games like this. So, right, so the M13b, it is meant, it's in the assault rifle category, and it doesn't have the stopping power of, say, like when the AKs or the M4s or anything like that. But as far as the rate of fire goes, it doesn't have that up-close stopping power that an SMG has. So I got 30 bullets in the magazine, in the clip, whatever you want to call it, because I keep getting corrected for it, and just leave me alone. And it's a bouncy boy. It is rather bouncy. It's not like, but, you know, it just kind of has enough to knock you off. Now, once I've got some attachments going for it, I actually work this thing a lot better, because I'll tell you now, she's a bit of a, you know, she's a bit of a bitch, I'm not going to lie. Like, you know, you start using it and you start running around the map, and it just doesn't ever seem, every time I got into a gunfight, I always seem to lose out with it. Now, like I said, it's probably because, well, you had no attachments on it. I'm sure if you put extended mags on it and a red dot sight, you don't really need a red dot sight, because that's one thing that this thing's got going for it. Its iron sights are clean. Super clean. Love the iron sights on it. But you are completely correct. And like I said, by the time I put extended mags on it, by the time I got a couple of grips on it and whatnot and everything, the recoil came right down. It did turn itself into a little bit of a monster. But when you first start out with this thing, it just doesn't feel that way. It just doesn't have that drop in power, the stop in power. It just doesn't seem as if it wants to do anything. It actively seems like it hates you. This gun honestly does feel like it hates you. And it, like I say, at first I was thinking, why the hell am I using this thing? Oh my god. Right, that was a revenge spawn, because that dickhead sniper got me like 3 times from the same spot and I couldn't do anything about it. And honestly, you're about to see coming up now, I must have looked like the biggest camper in the world, and it's like, oh my god, he's probably going to think I'm an absolute cretin. And speaking of cretins, you see that? It's like, I got him, and it's like, why is he hiding in that corner? Just know it. So, yeah, the M13b, like I said, if you haven't got it yet, don't really worry about it. You're not actually missing much. Obviously, people want it just to finish off the collection, and I've spoken about that whole DMZ exclusive gun thing being nonsense, because if there was a gun, I know there is a blueprint, but if there was a gun, say, exclusive to Warzone, I'd be like, God, fucking you. And I just have absolutely none of it, definitely not. But, yes, the M13b review, not gonna lie, it's a bit shit.